And I remember applying there back in 2020. I applied to be a part of this network for 3 years and didn't get it until December of 2022. So what's up, you guys? It's your girl Bianca B, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, make sure you guys check out my celebrity interviews, vlogs, and makeup tutorials. So today we are talking about how to deal with rejection. So on the Bianca B show, we talk about business, finances, and friendships. And so I really wanted to dive into rejection because rejection is a huge part, especially in the entertainment industry. You know, there's a lot of actors, actresses, and TV hosts and, entrepreneurs and things like that. And it comes with a lot of rejection. I've gotten so much rejection in my career. And so I wanted to share a couple of tips on how to deal with that. So first, we're going to talk about the business side. I truly believe what's for you is for you. And I know that sounds so cliche, but rejection is God's protection. There were so many elements in my career where I got rejected, sent out my resume, got a lot of rejection, especially in the talk show industry. I worked for a lot of different shows and I've been blessed, but those shows also got canceled, a lot of the talk shows I worked on, and I had to learn how to reroute and things like that. So the first step is like, what's for you is for you. So never question or doubt the universe, God, or whatever you believe in. What's for you is for you. And I truly believe that. So once you have that mindset shift, I swear things will get so much better. The next thing is soak it all in. When you get rejected, see what you could have done better on your resume. Maybe you're a bad interviewer. When you walk into a room, maybe you're not confident. I have a video, my previous video was how to walk into every room confident. Maybe in that interview process, you didn't have the right appearance, or you didn't say the right things, or the questions that they asked you were really difficult. So soak it all in. Maybe it was a learning lesson for you that you just needed to learn something different, or you didn't go in there your best self. Maybe it was a horrible day going into the interview. You know what I'm saying? So soak it all in and don't be so hard on yourself, because what's for you is for you. And the other business aspect of everything is maybe this is not your season, and that's okay. So I remember, I've been in the film industry for over a decade behind the scenes, and freelance life is not for everybody. Freelance life is not for everybody. It's a risk. Even entrepreneurship is a risk. You're investing your money, you're investing into things, and sometimes you take a lot of L's. So, maybe it's not your season yet. So for me, I'm going to give y'all a couple of examples. I work at a network, a very popular network. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know what network I work for. And I remember applying there back in 2020. I applied to be a part of this network for 3 years and didn't get it until December of 2022. So it took me 2.5 years up until the third year to get the position. And if I didn't go through those previous jobs and those previous bookings and failed talk shows and those skill sets that I needed to learn, I don't think I would be as good as a booker that I am. I'm a booking producer, and if I didn't work for Mel Robbins' show, and if I didn't work for Nick Cannon's show, I don't think I would be at the network that I am at today. It took me 3 years, you guys. So, maybe it's not your season yet. Maybe you need to learn more. Maybe you need to learn more skill sets before you really execute and can be the best at something. It took me up to 3 years to get the position that I have now. And if I didn't go through those talk shows and learn those different skill sets, I don't think I would have been the best booking producer that I could have been. And that's just real in all honesty. So maybe it's not your season yet. Maybe you just need to learn more. And that's okay. So sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board, learn certain skill sets, become better, be in other rooms to learn more. And that's like the business portion of things. So now we're going to talk about friendships. People come and go in your life, and that's just the reality. Everybody has a season, and sometimes certain friendships, like, it's just not it. Sometimes it's just not working. Same with relationships. I had been in previous relationships where I really, really liked somebody, and, they either did me dirty or it just didn't work out, and they became addicted to substances or an abuser. So God really will protect you. Let me tell y'all, God has protected me from so many different men. It is ridiculous. And during that season, of course, you don't understand. Your heart is broken. You're like, what am I doing wrong? Is it me? But sometimes God will protect you, like, nah, sis, you don't need to be with that person. Like, nah. So, and you look back and you're like, that is why I had to go through that. So, with the friendship part of things, like, people come and go in your life, and that's just what it is. So don't beat yourself up about it. Keep it pushing, wish people well, and let it go. The last thing we're going to talk about is finances. With rejection, this is like for my entrepreneurs, you're investing a lot of your personal money into your business. It is a process. So when it comes to finances, like, you got to learn how to money manage, right? Which is hard, especially when you have a 9-to-5, you want to start a business. You are going to be investing in a lot of yourself. And I'm one of those people, like, invest in yourself. Like, it's so important, like, invest in yourself. If I didn't invest in myself, I don't think I would be this far. Like, investing in equipment, investing in laptops and cameras and gear. Like, I know that's not really rejection, but you got to start somewhere. You have to invest in yourself. And sometimes investing in yourself sometimes comes with else. Sometimes you'll sign up for programs and the program is just not for you, and you may have lost out on thousands of dollars. I know for me, with rejection, I lost my job. Back in 2022, I found out I did not have a job by looking at Instagram. I literally went to work, and I'm in a group chat. We all see on social media that we no longer have a job anymore. And I had risked my I had invested a lot of my personal money, probably close to $40,000 to $50,000 to move across state and to lose out on thousands of dollars for the remaining of the season. Like, I lost out. I took a big hit last year. In 2022, that was a rough year for me. I took the biggest L of my career. Listen, I was living in LA. Well, first let's backtrack. I'm about to share my tea to y'all, okay? So I was living in LA from 2011 to 2019. I got a job in New York for the Mel Robbins show. And I was like, okay, great. Moved to New York. That show got canceled. Cool. We were prepared for that. I was blessed to have a team and work with people that they cared about us. And they were like, the season is ending. You guys have a month to figure it out. And they gave us a month of grace period. And that's normal in production. Like, you don't want to get attached to any project. If you're somebody who wants to work in entertainment, please don't get attached to any project. Like, don't get so attached to it that when it ends that you're heartbroken and you're not prepared. At least for that position, they prepared us. Then we're in 2020, and then the pandemic happened. So I'm in LA. I'm paying for an apartment in New York still, and I'm living in LA with my boyfriend at the time, and I'm with him for a little bit, and then I decide to get my own place. I'm like, well, my lease is about to come up in New York. It's about to end, so I'm going to just stay in LA and get a place. So for a couple of months, I was paying for 2 apartments, one in New York and one in LA. I was spending about $5,000 to $6,000 a month. And that was a huge investment. That was a huge investment. And so I'm living back in LA. It's cool. I'm in LA. I'm like comfortable. I get the position to work for Nick Cannon's show. And so I'm like, okay, anything that he touches is gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, okay, this is a good look for my career. So I'm in LA and I move across country back to the East Coast. So I get a place and the show is going the way it's going. And then we find out we don't have a job. And so I lost out on, to move across country, you guys, you got deposits, you got shipping fees, you got all this money. When I touched back down in the city, I was fucking $20,000 already. And then we didn't even finish our season, so I lost out on even more money. And so that's when I became a flight attendant. A lot of people were like, why did you become a flight attendant? Where did this come from? And I did it, A, for peace of mind, and B, because I needed a job. Like, I was applying to every job that you could think of. And it goes back to what I said in the beginning. I kept applying to the network that I work for now. Like, I kept applying and I kept applying. And I finally got it. And so I took a L. And sometimes in life, you're going to have to take L's. And it's okay as long as you learn. So when we talk about the financial side of stuff, sometimes you think you're prepared and sometimes you're just not. And it's okay. And that's why support is so important. Having a family that supports you, having a spouse that supports you. Because with entertainment, it is a huge risk. It's a huge investment. It is huge investing in yourself and in your career. It's mentally draining, but the financial side of it too. Like, when I lost my job, I lost everything. Like, I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And sometimes in life, you got to learn how to pivot. So when it comes to rejection, you have to learn how to pivot. It is so important to learn how to pivot and pick yourself back up. I look at life now, what is the problem and how can I solve it? I look at life now like, what is the problem and how I can solve it? And once I started looking at life through that lens, especially in the entertainment industry, when I started viewing things from that perspective, I stopped being so emotional. I was somebody who was extremely emotional, cried about everything, very sensitive, very moody, had an attitude. Like, I had to learn how to look at life and pivot. If I didn't take that L that I took in 2022, I would not have the position that I have now. And I would not have the knowledge and the life knowledge that came with that process. So although, I took a big L financially, I learned the most knowledge in 2022 from relationships to career. Like, I lost everything in the months of February and March. And here we are a year later and I have surpassed that, but I learned so much. So you may not understand what you're going through at this very moment. You may not understand it, but I'm telling you, it will prepare you. And you just have to learn how to pivot in life. And that's just the reality of rejection. And it's a part of life. It's a part of life. But when you look back and you're like, yo, I got through it. I beat depression. I beat anxiety. I beat all those financial burdens. And I'm still playing catch up from the L's that I took of last year. And that's okay. So, life continues to go on, but you have to stay focused and you have to keep going. And that's just my biggest advice when it comes to dealing with rejection. So it's your girl, Bianca B. I'm not trying to make these episodes long, but it's your girl, Bianca B. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. It's Bianca B. It's Bianca B. And also go to itsbiancab.com. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bianca B Show. It's your girl, Bianca B. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all soon.